Information about now former Judge Mark Hulsey, who resigned the day before a legislative hearing, which could have led to his eventual impeachment. Hulsey is accused of making racist and sexist remarks, as well as not properly performing his duties as a judge. According to newly released documents from the Florida House of Representatives, an investigator was preparing to testify to lawmakers today that they found Hulsey was unprepared for criminal cases, including a death penalty trial. He failed to allow attorneys to make arguments at hearings, and they say he tried to improperly communicate with the state while he was under investigation. Because of all the evidence investigators collected, they were going to recommend considering articles of impeachment, quote, as soon as possible. Again, that hearing was supposed to start today, but Hulsey resigned yesterday, and he's still not talking about why he stepped down. But his supporters, as well as the lawyer who narrowly lost to Hulsey in an election last year, well, they are talking with Channel 4's Jim Pickett, who joins us live from the courthouse. Jim?
You know, Gerald Wilkerson is that attorney that just lost to Hulsey back in August. Now, it was so close, though, there had to be a recount. And he is hoping that what will happen is that he will be appointed to replace Hulsey. Gerald Wilkerson believes he's entitled to the judgeship since he lost by just over 600 votes, but he knows legally he's not.
The only thing I can say is that I feel like he owed the people that voted for him better than that. And I feel like now the people of this circuit have not been able to choose another judge, and now it's going to go through the political process, and I just don't feel that's right. Wilkerson
does plan to apply for the position, but it will be up to the governor to decide. Other attorneys tell us they're disappointed that the judge stepped down. Rhonda Peoples-Waters was one of the group of black attorneys who stood behind Hulsey when the allegations about his racist comments first came to light. She has talked with him recently.
He just expressed his, remorse that he had somewhat let us down, but he felt that this was something that he needed to do, and we certainly expressed to him that we understood.
She adds that in court, there was never any problem she saw.
There was not ever any evidence that I saw practicing before him for years with black and white clients of him being a racist.
The charges filed last summer accused Hulsey of saying racist and sexist remarks like blacks needed to get back on a ship to go back to Africa. Those now will not be investigated. But could those statements have an impact on cases Hulsey oversaw as judge?
I don't think there will be grounds to appeal. What we have is Judge Hulsey has voluntarily resigned from the bench. There has not been any finding that he has been unethical. There hasn't been any findings or any rulings that he has done anything inappropriate.
And I'll tell you this, Gene Nichols adds that there could be other attorneys who would file to look to appeal any sentencing in that case, but it remains to be seen if that is going to happen. We're live at the courthouse. Jim Pickett, Channel 4, the local station.